finally got a coaching hire. The Indiana Pacers have gone out and hired Nate Bjorkgren, a popular assistant coach. We've talked about the Pacers a lot, Corey. Do you like this hire for them? I mean, they're going for that Nick Nurse next big thing kind of coach.
Yeah, and I look at his pedigree, right? He won at basically every level. Even back when he was coaching high school, state coach of the year in Arizona. Then he goes to the G League, and everyone seems to really love him as a player development coach. He worked with TJ Warren, who's one of the rising stars of the Pacers. And then you look at the Pacers kind of core group. They have talent. They don't necessarily have a superstar. The question is, can Oladipo be that superstar, especially coming back from an injury? I don't know. But I think ultimately, if you want to get past this first round sweep and get to the next level of saying, hey, we're happy to make the playoffs. Now we're actually going to win some games. I think you go with the pedigree of the Nick Nurse coaching tree.
Yeah, I think that this is a nice hire. Look, he has the reputation as a really good teacher around the league, like as a coach who's a really good teacher and as a good tactician, which kind of makes sense coming out of that Nick Nurse background where, I mean, they ran 47 different defenses every game and they threw a lot of stuff at you, but like it takes a certain kind of coach to be that adaptable. Bjorkgren can be that kind of guy. I think, though, you touched on the real key with this team. Victor Oladipo, he's got 1 year left at $21 million on that deal. Are you keeping him and betting he can be that guy, or are you testing the trade market for him?
I would test the trade market. I feel like you have to, right? I mean, because the thing that we've learned, if anything, in the NBA is that it's a superstar league. Look at the Heat versus the Lakers. The Heat had a great team, great culture, but they didn't have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And at the end of the day, that's what won the championship, right? That's what won the Lakers a championship. So if you are trying to win a championship, you have to get superstar talent. And the question has remained, is Victor Oladipo a superstar talent? We've seen young stars emerge in the bubble, right? Like the Jamal Murray kind of cohort, Donovan Mitchell. Oladipo isn't there yet. I'm not saying he can't get there. It's just right now he's not there. 1 year left on the deal. I don't know if he's going to get there in 1 year. I feel like you have to trade him out and get somebody who can get you there. Yeah,
I'm kind of with you. Look, he did it for that one season, right? He had the one breakout season right after the trade where he was kind of not a throw-in, but he was like, oh, they traded Paul George for him. And then you broke out and you're like, oh, yeah, I'd trade Paul George for him. Like he had that breakout year. But then came the injury and the torn quadriceps tendon, and he has not been the same guy since. He is reportedly looking for big money in that next contract. I don't know that I want to be the guy chasing him as a free agent that has him on the roster and feels they've got to bring him back because he's got a lot to prove that he's worth that kind of money now, right? Like he's got to show me he's worth that. I would be testing the market just to see, like you said, they've got a good team. They've got, but between Miles Turner and Sabonis up front and Brogdon, like there's a nice TJ Warren, there's a nice roster there, but they don't have that alpha. And I'm not sure Victor Oladipo can be that guy.
I just think about going into the bubble and how, Oladipo was like, maybe I'm going to play, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not going to travel, maybe I am. Then he goes and he's like, maybe I'm going to play, maybe I'm not. Then he ends up playing. If that's your guy, if that's your leader, right? To me, I'm just kind of confused as far as, and once again, I don't know what's happening inside closed doors, but just from the outside looking in, I'm like, that's not a very good look for if you're the number one of that team. You got to be there at the very least, and show leadership with your presence and show leadership with your words. And you got to be able to give that team certainty and direction if you are in fact the number one superstar of that team. And I just didn't see that this season from Oladipo.
No, and there's been rumors that he wants out, that he was looking to be traded. He's denied those, but let's say that buzzes around the league. The problem is everybody else has seen what you and I saw the last year and a half, which is I don't know how much I'm giving up for him on a 1 year deal. Like he might fit as an interesting piece if you add him as the third playmaker for the Clippers, or you bring him to a team where he's got to be the second or third guy on a really good team. But I don't know that he's that number one guy anymore. And I don't know if you're going to be able to I don't know what Indiana's going to be able to get for him in this market. I'm just not sure that the other teams are looking at him thinking, despite the relatively big name, like I just don't know that they think they're going to be able to find anybody.